All right. Now, looks like people have been really worried about, how the economy is going to respond, what's going to happen after the coronavirus. Are we going to be okay? Is everything going to go back to normal? And I really believe so. And I want to use this story using CNN as a source. I really don't like CNN very much, but again, I'm going to go ahead and take this here and we're going to talk about what's going on. So let's see what the headline of this story is. Chinese tourist sites packed as country comes out of lockdown, but experts say risk still high. So I have a feeling this is kind of going to be what's going to happen to the American economy, right? So they've been locked down, barricaded in their home, stressed out. Their economy was wrecked, no work there. And as soon as the light at the tunnel starts appearing, look what happens. So you got large numbers of people flocked to popular tourist sites in major cities across China over the country's holiday weekend, despite warnings from health authorities that the risk posed by the coronavirus pandemic remains far from over. That's the leading paragraph into the story here. So if you look at the two pictures here, it looks like we've got huge throngs of people. And it's funny, this guy right here, he don't have his mask on. And he appears to be laughing or smiling. Look at him. You got some people without masks. Everyone mostly appears to be wearing masks. Looks like there's one pulled down there. So most people appear to have masks, not these two. But look at this, just thousands upon thousands of people. Apparently, according to the story, um, at 7:48 a.m., authorities took the unusual step of issuing a notice declaring that the park had reached its 2,000 person daily capacity by 7:48 a.m. Over 20,000 people. And they also talked about, meanwhile, in Shanghai, the famous Bund waterfront was once again packed with shoppers and tourists. See, it's a good sign. And after weeks of being near deserted, many of the city's restaurants that were shuttered only days ago also appear to be doing a brisk trade, with several requiring reservations to enter. So, what I want to talk about is what's going to happen. I think is going to happen the same like this. We're culturally different, obviously, but we're all humans. I think what's going to happen is as soon as this thing starts getting wind that it's tailing off, they start opening things back up. Although there may still be a risk, although it may not even be the smartest thing to do at this particular time, people are going to they're getting cabin fever. They're going to go out, they're going to do stuff, and then when businesses do come back online, they're going to attempt to support the places that they love. They're going to go to the businesses, go to the restaurants, and experience these things, especially with the government producing this stimulus. So I think in the short term, we're going to pretty much bounce back to where we were at now. However, by literally creating $6 trillion out of thin air, we're going to have hyperinflation. We're what 30 trillion in debt or so. This is all from memory, and this is going to just push us way over the edge. Down the road, sooner or later, our house of cards is going to come to a collapse, and I fear that this is kind of just a taste of what in either our lifetime or our children's lifetime will happen when our bad financial practices finally come to roost. And you see how the world's falling apart right now over a virus? And you look at right now, America is at 10,000 deaths. And at the rate that we're losing people, we're going to be a lot more than that by the time this thing is over. But unless this pandemic takes a turn for the worse or gets really bad, what I predict happening is and I'm just me, right? So, is that we're going to bounce back. Things are going to get better. I think that this is basically, how people came out and said, oh, it's just like the flu, it's not that big a deal. And then now, oh, it's a really big deal, right? Well, I'm beginning to see it in the lens of, based on the kill rate right now, it's only at about 1% in America, maybe a little higher. Based on that, it's only killed 10,000 and it's been here for like 2 months. So multiplying that, obviously it would get worse. I could see us losing up to 100,000, but the flu kills 35,000, right? And so that would mean that this is what, 3, 4 times worse than the flu. So it's bad. Don't get me wrong. At least that's what's starting to look. That's what it's starting to look like. Is that this thing is a nasty, nasty bug. Whether it was cooked up in a bio factory, or whether it's a bio warfare, however it was released or transmitted from animals or in a lab, whatever, you know it's beginning to look like it's a pretty nasty bug. But that, I don't know, should we have shut down our economy, destroyed everyone's lives, and lost all of our work and revenue over this? Was it that bad? Is it that bad? And then I could understand in population density centers like New York and Los Angeles and places like that. I mean, look at these people packed like fish, like sardines in a can. But in places like the Central Valley here in California, places like Utah, Montana, right? I mean, why did we have to shut things down so severely? Why couldn't we have just social distancing, gatherings of say 20 or more banned, but allow restaurants and things to stay open, even if there's more than 20 people, as long as they can space them correctly, right? I mean, imagine a big stadium, right? But then the rule was, we're going to have a football game, but the seats, you're going to be, you know, you stagger the seating so nobody's more than 5 or 6 feet from each other, right? I mean, there are ways that we could have approached this, I think, without destroying our economy. So the more and more I look at it, the more and more it's almost seeming like, there's something going on. I mean, look at the markets just tanked and crashed, and now they're starting to turn around. In these kind of situations, this is when the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, and the middle class just start to disappear even more. And it's just widening that gap. So, also, there's a lot of other things going on in the world right now. It's almost beginning to look like World War III. It's pretty scary. You got countries like Venezuela attacking a cruise ship, and they use their navy to try to ram and attack a cruise ship, and it actually sunk. It's a joke. But you got tensions all over the world right now. Some people are coming together, but some people are butting heads, and it's pretty crazy. So I don't know where to honestly fall in right now, because at first I was in that category of people that, hey, it ain't that bad. It's probably like the flu. I think the government's way overblowing it. Then for a while there, you had enough stories, videos. It started getting real scary when you hear doctors talking about how scary this is, and people drowning in their own, blood fluids, from pneumonia, and young people dying and old people dying, and just it starts to get to you. And then being on lockdown, the fear starts to work. And now that the fear starts to get blunted by just the as more information comes out, you start thinking, is this really what's what? And you also get, you kind of get cabin fever just stuck in your house, right? So, and then all the news is just negative. So we should be focusing on the positive stuff. But I want to point this out and show that I truly believe that our economy is going to rebound. The American people are going to rebound. And this is going to be what you're going to see here with us, what you see on the screen now. You're going to see throngs of people coming out to support and go out to see movies, the restaurants. In the end, though, I just am worried about the true house of cards that we are ultimately in. If you can actually step back and see the big picture and understand our deficit, our finances, the fact that we don't have a gold or silver standard anymore, and our money is basically just toilet paper. And the only thing that makes our money valuable is because we say so and we have the big stick. And as this pandemic has shown you, that can change pretty quickly. So With that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching Common Sense Talks.